Any age is just exactly what you make of it. That's according to the author of a book of those who give new meaning to the phrase, the golden years. It's a book about some of the nation's outstanding octogenarians, including some Tucson residents. In her weekly Arizona Profile series, Kim Lamb introduces us to them as well as the book's author.
World-class bridge instructor Tempia Strobhardt and attorney G.A. Larriva are two Tucson octogenarians who have turned 80 and above into something. 80-something is the title of a book on America's outstanding octogenarians, written by a man who's still a few years shy of the big 80.
I saw a statistic which said the fastest growing population segment in the United States today is the 85-year-old. I just thought it was the seniors, but it's the 85-year-old. In 1900, there were only 100,000, and today there are 3.2 million.
Lewis interviewed personalities such as author Phyllis Whitney and actors Douglas Fairbanks Jr. and Cesar Romero.
Mary and I, my wife, got in the car, and we set up a series of interviews cross-country, and we drove 7,000 miles back and forth. How did I decide whom? Well, I wanted to get some personalities because from a marketing angle, you could use personalities. So you send out something like 50 requests and hope you get 5.
Larriva and Strobhardt are among the Tucson personalities featured in the book.
That's it. Now. See, I only had one spade, but it worked. See? You made 4.
Thank you.
The local Queen of Hearts and clubs and spades and diamonds taught bridge at Pima Community College for the past 17 years and often holds lively games in her home.
Well, you know, my mother was very religious, and she didn't allow any cards in the house when I was growing up. And then after I got married, my husband played pinochle. And of course, I had to learn how to play pinochle. First cards I got in my hand was pinochle cards. And then after that, he used to like to play pinochle with the boys, as they called it, because they were all men. So then I had a friend whose husband was a bridge teacher. And I just said to him one day, I said, do you think I could learn bridge? And he said, why, sure. He said, all you got to do is have card sense.
Tempia went on to play and teach, winning numerous awards around the world.
To me, I think bridge makes you think, makes your mind alert. It's very good for anyone, especially senior citizens, because when you're young, you have your home and your husband and your family, or your wife, as the case may be, and you rear your children and you have to run to the store and to see about this. Then you see when you retire, you have nothing to do with yourself. And of course, your mind relaxes, sometimes too much.
Relax is a word almost unknown to this 84-year-old practicing attorney. A successful career as a refrigerator salesman enabled Genaro Amado to retire at 54, and he promptly developed classic stress symptoms.
I want to see a doctor, and the doctor told me, examine it, there's nothing wrong with you. But I said, well, my stomach aches and my tummy seems like it's going to break sometimes. It just pains. It's all in your mind. It's your work hard. Go back to work.
His wife suggested he become a lawyer like he always wanted to, and he thought he poo-pooed that. I'm too old. But she finally talked him into it, and he went to the U of A, took the full course, got his law degree, and has been a lawyer ever since.
Genaro, who goes by the initials G.A., says his wife was his main inspiration throughout his life.
We graduated the same year, and I went and wanted to work out for my dad, with my dad, and I met her there, and we got married in Nogales.
And you were married for?
For 56 years, until she died.
You miss her?
Oh. If you ask me, I'll start crying.
Family has always been extremely important to Genaro. As a child, his family was driven out of Mexico's Grand Canyon, where his father owned mines and a grocery store. They were driven out by none other than Mexican outlaw Pancho Villa.
Pancho Villa come in and he ransacked that grocery store, take anything he wanted. You're just glad that he didn't kill you, you know what I mean? And but he'd take your silver, your gold, anything he wanted to.
Genaro's father was eventually imprisoned, but refused to tell Villa's men where he had hidden his main cache of silver. Finally, he told one guard in exchange for his freedom and 1 bar of gold to help his family start a new life in Nogales.
One little bar that I can hold in one hand, and that little bar was about that big, and about but it was must have been quite a bit of gold.
Worth about, what, $2,200, $2,800?
It was $2,200. He sold it to the forerunner of the Valley Bank, which is Consolidated National Bank. They were in the corner where they're now, except across the street.
That was in 1911. Today, these are his 4 grown grandchildren. Like G.A., Tempia's grandchild is one of the things that keeps her young. What's her name?
Tempia Elizabeth, after her granny.
I haven't reached the octogenarian status, but I'm getting almost to the middle 70s, so obviously there's great hope.
Louis and all of those who participated in the book hope it serves as an inspiration to everyone, whether you're 80-something or just planning to get there someday.
What I learned from them is a very simple thing, which I think I've been doing automatically without thinking about it, and that is keep interested in people, places, things.
Don't give up. Just keep right on going. That's what I say. Well, there's one thing you certainly can always do. That's die.
That's Arizona Illustrated for this evening. Arizona Illustrated is made possible in part by a grant from the DeGracia Foundation. We're delighted to have corporate sponsorship from organizations like the